Hello there everyone, welcome to another World of Tanks console video with me, Wombo Leader from the PlayStation 5, and once again we are in the Jagdpather Tier 7 German tank destroyer. Now I do apologise for featuring this tank in so many videos, but you've got to play a lot of games in this tank in order to unlock both the Jagdpather 2 and of course the Elephant, or the Ferdinand, the Tier 8 German tank destroyer. So we're just about there folks, to be honest with you. We've just about got both of them fully unlocked, so hopefully going forward we can have some more different tanks on the channel. But this session here, we've got two games back to back, and it kind of perfectly highlights the kind of highs and lows of World of Tanks, if you like. So this first game is at Berlin, Tier 8 game of course, because Tier 7 and Tier 9 are the two worst tiers for matchmaking at the moment. Probably do a video on that in due course, featuring the M103. You may well have experienced some of my issues with the matchmaking with the M103 on some of the live streams, but yeah, it just tends to be when you play this tank, you 90% of the time appear to be in a Tier 8 game. It could be worse, it could be a Tier 9 game, but there is no actual Tier 9 games out there, it would seem. But I digress. So, we kind of try to find a position here to try and get some shots down the alleyway here at Berlin, and we find ourselves a little Absolution. Very OP Tier 6 tank, and I'm thinking, you know what, we'll just try and get a couple of snipes into its cupola, try and get a bit of early damage, but of course, I'm not entirely sure where both of those shots went. It's got 115mm of armour there. Probably should just done it done with the Absolution. Did pay to win. He was firing premium at my upper hull and took off half my hit points. So a little bit later on in the battle, we find ourselves a T-3488 here again. Try to get the sniping shot into the cupola with no success, and going to try and retreat from that one. And kind of looking a little bit sketchy this battle. So far we've done absolutely zero damage. One of those wonderful games, you know, where you're just having so much fun in World of Tanks. We take a shot into the side from the Demolisher. That's what is that, an auto-loading, essentially T-28 prototype. Thinking right in to try and get out of dodge here. We're not in a very good position. Can't really get a shot on the T-3488. The light tank's going in there. Can we get a shot on the Demolisher? Up? Nope, he's filled back. The light tank takes out the T-3488. I'm thinking, okay, we'll try and maybe take this opportunity to get ourselves out of dodge. But of course, just as we decide to get out of dodge, the Demolisher comes back around the corner. We take a look over, seen it coming, and that's a zero damage game, which is always good for your mood in the World of Tanks. I'm sure you will agree. Skill issues, whatever, call it what I want. It was just, the game didn't quite go our way. A couple of sniping shots into the cupola of the Absolution. You know, it looked like we aimed both shots fully. It looked like we hit the cupola on both shots, but 203mm of pen, apparently not enough to go through 115mm of armour. Don't you just love World of Tanks RNG? So moving on to game number 2. So that game in Berlin there was probably a run of about 4 or 5 games that hadn't gone particularly well. Now that was the worst of the lot. Of course, we had actually managed to do some damage in the other games, but it hadn't been going particularly well. And this is the game right after the game we've just witnessed there in Berlin. So confidence is low. I'm not having a great time of it. I'm kind of just looking to try and get, I think I'll just try and get the win, to be honest with you, on the Jagdpather. Forget my double XP game in, and then maybe move on to do something better with my life rather than playing this game on this day. Such was my my mood at this point. So we're on Lakeville here for the second game. We did get an early shot of damage into, I think it was in a meal that was racing towards the town. Fast forward in there, we've had a few other shots, never managed to get too much off, but eventually our luck has turned as we find ourselves a Kiravat's one here, and an RU-251, I believe might be the other tank, as our light tank goes in. That's going to give me the opportunity to actually do a little bit of farming and get a little bit of damage. So up over 1,000 damage here, put another shot into, it's an Aguila. I do believe that's an RU-251 anyway, if I remember rightly. So we're actually getting to do a little bit of farming here, getting a little bit of luck with the RNG as well, especially in this one, because we go for the Kiravats and actually hit the Aguila, so that was nice, you know, how quickly things can turn around. But we still look like we're losing this battle, so I wasn't 100% confident we were going to get the win, but Took a look at the map. I could see our team were moving into the town. I think I take a look at the big map here. I know, people say you should be getting the big map up, but yeah, I think they could see our team are starting to move into town, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to try and support them from the valley, and then this little opportunity just absolutely presented itself absolutely perfectly. The enemy light tank, the WZ-132, obviously had a similar idea to me. We got the shot in the move, and then they were just at the perfect angle as they took the avoided action to try and get round me, for me to put the ram in and then push them into the water. I was laughing my head off at that moment. Not so good for the WZ-132 player, but yeah, given the roughness of my play session up to this point, that was definitely something to put a smile on my face. It just kind of almost perfectly encapsulates the kind of highs and lows of World of Tanks, because I'd literally had 5 terrible games up till this point, culminating in that 0 damage game in Berlin. And then this game hadn't really started off particularly well. It looked like it was going to be a loss. Things started to turn around. We got to farm the Kiravats and the Aguila a little bit, and then that perfect situation with the light tank to just push them into the water. Yeah, the highs and lows of World of Tanks. We've all been there, we all know it. Could it get any better? Well, nearly. We managed to take the artillery down to 3 hit points, not quite getting the kill, but we're up to 2,900 damage now. We're going to get the kill shot here on the T-3488. It's going to give us 2 kills, take us up to 3,000 damage. Is there any more? It's going to look very much looking like a win at the moment. They're just kind of losing their tanks left, right and centre now. Now we're going to get the shots into the booty of the SMV. Always nice to kind of get some damage on those Italian tank destroyers. They're very tricky tanks indeed. I'm looking forward to playing them at some point. We pick up our 3rd kill there on the what do you call it? Earthshaker, that's the word. And that's to be a very decent win with 3,400 damage, MVP. And as I said, you know, this game on the back of what happened in Berlin with that ram kill, you know, this game alone with the damage would be very nice, but just that kill on the light tank was just, you know, the perfect cream icing cherry on top of the cake. And it just goes to show that sometimes you just have to just let your luck come back to you in this game. As I said, I think we've all been there, but hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you can see where I'm coming from. I'm sure you have. Let me know your stories in the comments. I'll leave you with some footage of that kill once again, including from the perspective of the WZ-132. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. Please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye now.